Well, the reshoots didn't help. Either that or the prior iteration of Captain America Brave New World was so bad it was unsavable. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's the worst offering in the MCU, or even bottom 5, but that's only because the bar is so low that it's disappeared underneath the floorboards. This is by far the worst Captain America movie to date, and it fails in a way I figured it was going to, insofar as it pretends that the idea of Captain America is all that it takes to be Captain America. I liked Sam Wilson as Falcon, but giving Falcon a shield and some Wakandan upgrades doesn't suffice, especially when the story pits him against a Hulk. It doesn't work because it ignores the very history of Steve Rogers as Captain America. Because ultimately, what's the difference between Sam Wilson and pre-serum Steve Rogers besides about 80 pounds? If some new tech can allow a regular man, a man who was lapped by super soldier Steve Rogers multiple times when running around the Capitol's reflecting pool, why couldn't the same thing be done for bite-sized Steve Rogers? Yes, heart matters. Yes, the captain is about values, American values. But the serum is what allowed him to fight people who would otherwise simply throw him around like a rag doll. Honestly, if they hadn't mentioned multiple times that Sam never took the serum, you'd have to assume he had between movies based on his performance, stamina, and strength when fighting, especially an actual Hulk. I don't even want to give examples because there are so many that make no sense. This movie doesn't even play by the rules set out in this movie, let alone the canon of the MCU. And speaking of characters with abilities so far outside their physical limitations, let's talk about Sabra and how Marvel is just laughing at us all right now. They've introduced another Black Widow, this time in quasi-Mossad form, and she's a whopping 5'2" and probably weighs 75 pounds soaking wet in denim. And yet somehow she can not just hold her own in a fight, and I don't mean just with gadgets and tools and through cheating like the John Wick character the ballerina or even the OG Black Widow, but somehow she can take a punch from a dude quite literally 3 times her size. The toughest female boxers in the world in the featherweight class got slapped around in the ring at the Olympics by a person with XY or male chromosomes who was using performance negating drugs in order to qualify to fight. That fighter absolutely dominated in the ring. But this new Black Widow, who stands only a foot and a half taller than Warwick Davis, can somehow overpower roided out mercenaries in full body armor. And all that girl bossing aside, the story is also contrived, overly complicated, and plays out like the vestiges of multiple movies slammed together in the editing room because, well, that's exactly what it was and is. Just about every part of the main villain's plan requires you to not think about it, and I don't mean not think about it hard, but not think about it at all. It's all just one big, so the movie can happen. A well-constructed story finds ways to allow you to suspend your disbelief while enjoying it, but Captain America Brave New World fails at nearly every turn to accomplish this job. Frankly, I didn't like it. I give it 2 of 5 stars. Cheers.